Thank you, Rick. So, how many of you would like a lot better health, much more energy, and of course, much, much, much happier relationships? Anyone? Yes, wow, thank you. Well, you're here at the right place for the right reason, and that'll be for the most important person in your world is you, right? Yeah. And it's about time we all start learning that and living that, is that you are the most important person in your world, because you only have one world, and that's this one universe, and that's inside of you. That's what we're responsible for. So my name is Carole Friesen, and since we're going to be spending the next half hour together, is it okay if I tell you a very brief story about myself, or why you should even listen to me? Okay, I live in Calgary, and I've lived there for the last 4 years. I get to travel all over North America and do keynote speaking engagements, and I get to meet fascinating people by reading faces, which is just a very minute thing, what we do in our work, which is the magic of body-mind communication. And I've been working with the founder and director of the Institute, Herman Mueller, for the past 10 years. Herman is a true master on the planet. He's developed, and we have an accredited course through the Australian Institute, or the Australian government, registered training organization. And this program changes lives, and I get to be part of this huge, fascinating movement of what you hear in The Secret, or What the Bleep, and Deepak Chopra speaks about, Louise Hayes. It's about coming home and being responsible for your own action and reactions to your life experiences. But my life hasn't always been this way. I've gone through many challenges in my life, just like most of you here. I'm sure anyone on the planet has gone through a few challenges in their life. I have gone through a very, very serious car accident where my girlfriend was killed in the car accident. I've been opened up from here to here. I've had my gallbladder out. I've had back operations when my relationship wasn't going well, and I was having problems in my restaurant. I owned and operated a restaurant for 14 years, and I come from a very small Mennonite community, which is called Steinbach, Manitoba. And I'm in my home province in a very limited belief systems, and I grew up and saw what that did to a person. And I managed to come through that when I came across a poster, The Magic of Body-Mind Communication. And I said, wow, that looks so interesting. And I went to an introduction evening, and I saw this funny little man at the front of the room. And when he looked at someone, he could read right through them. And I said, whatever that man can do, I'm going to learn. Because I'd spent 42 years of suppressing my emotions. And I'd even tell my employees in the restaurant is to leave your emotions at home. We've got beer to sling. I learned to be very yang and very hard within myself. And I'd forgotten about that beautiful feminine side. And when I took a course, when I signed up for that whole course, when I could see that man read right through someone, true to his word, we all learned to read a face in a day. And I went home that night and read a friend of mine, and she had a huge emotional release because she was recognized for who she was, not who she became, for her core essence. And for the next 2 days, we did body-mind analysis where we learned to walk, how to breathe, how to stand. I was 110% ahead of myself. You wouldn't see it from the front, but from the side, I wasn't even in my body. My consciousness was so ahead, and I was driving myself into the world. And it wasn't until the end of those 2 days, there's nothing wrong with me. I'm strong. I can do this. What's all this emotional stuff? People are having all these emotions come up. And it wasn't until I tried to write my report at the end of the 2 days, and I couldn't write anything on that piece of paper. And all these feelings came bubbling up, and I'm trying to hold back my emotions. What happened is it burst. I couldn't hold it anymore. I had nothing on my piece of paper. So when my body and mind connected just like that, I cried out 42 years of pent-up anger, pain, guilt, shame, anything you can imagine when you haven't done your homework or you couldn't spell a word. And 14 years in the restaurant business, never once did I get on my stage, never once did I run a staff meeting because I was terrified to speak in public. But what came out of that is in grade 2, I was in a one-room school. I was wrongfully accused of cheating in a spelling test. And I got a strap for it. And I vowed nobody would ever hurt that little girl again. And I built up a wall that you wouldn't believe. And I started putting on weight. I couldn't see the blackboard. I needed glasses. And I hated English from there on in. And I got 50R, which is 50 rewrite or whatever it is. They pass you forward into the next grade. Yet in biology, chemistry, and geography, I'd get 90s and 100s. And that affected me all my life. So when that connection came through, it unraveled. It was like thousands and thousands and thousands of rubber bands cutting inside of me. And my body poured in sweat and tears. And guess what? I can spell just fine ever since. And now you can't even get me off a stage. Because I came through something that was held in my body. Not what was up here. I remember that experience. I just didn't know how much my body held it. And how I could let it go. And how I could let that energy flow through me. So I have seen and traveled and done this work for 10 years, and I've seen thousands and thousands and thousands of people change their lives when they come home and love the body they're in. And it's an activation. It's a commitment to yourself. To take the time. And we're all so busy out there, giving our energy away to other people, wanting or thinking our happiness is outside there in a relationship when there is no relationship going on inside. So when you start to look at yourself and you see and remember that beautiful essence of who you are and where you've stored your issues in your tissues, then you can start to release them. And there's 3 keys to self-healing. And this seminar is Self-Healing, the New Health Science. Because you can heal yourself in all areas of your life. It's not just about health. It's about wholeness, about feeling whole within yourself. And the number 1 key to self-healing is focus. Is bringing all your focus back into you. Not scattering your energy over there and over there and over there. And to spend one whole day in a face reading class, you have to bring back and focus on the person you're reading. And be able to look into their eyes. And it teaches you compassion. It teaches you understanding another human being. And they become your mirror. The second key to self-healing is balance. The most powerful law in the universe is balance. So we're constantly looking for balance outside of ourselves, in our lives. Excuse me. Whew. I got an email this morning from Rick. He says, make sure you drink lots of water because it's so dry in that place. I should have listened. So, balance. Everything in nature teaches us about balance. Our ecosystems. If you're driving your vehicle, don't you want your vehicle to be in balance? Tires in alignment? Don't you want to be in the driver's seat and focusing on where you're going? Well, this is your vehicle. It's time to get in the driver's seat and start to find balance within yourself. And we look for that in your body. Each and every one of you is a walking autobiography of your life experiences. People are out there running around looking for more books and reading more books and more books when they got the most fascinating book right here. Why not read this one? And it's all about experience. The more books you're going to read, the more inadequate your body is going to feel. Because you're just filling up your mind, your brain up here. You're just filling it up. And the body says, my God, if I could just possibly do one of those books, we'd be light years ahead. Did anyone learn here to ride a bicycle reading a book? Did you? How'd that work for you? I can read 1,000 books how to ride a horse. Get on the horse, see if I know how to ride. I don't think so. The horse says, oh yeah, you read 1,000 books. I'll show you. Your body has all that wisdom. Your body has the experience. And once you learn to ride a bicycle, you can get on 20 years later and still be able to ride the bicycle because your body understands it. So it becomes wisdom instead of knowledge. More books, more knowledge. And the more it throws us out of balance because the brain wants more and more and more. And the body is saying, what about me? What about me? And the third key to self-healing is, where do we find that balance? Is within your structure. We look at the body. It's a perfect measuring tool, like scales, what's going on, what you've been thinking. And of course, a lot of it is coming from your DNA. Because everything your parents and your grandparents and your great-grandparents have thought, guess what? It's living in you. It's in your DNA. And you came here to change that. So history doesn't repeat itself. You take all the best and you change what you think or feel needs to be changed. So it's going to show inside here. So we look at the face. How balanced is the face? We look at how your left and right brain have been functioning. And it crosses over in the body, so the whole right side of your body is your left brain function. Your analytical side, your masculine side. And the whole left side of the body crosses over into your right brain function, which is your yin or your feminine aspect, your creative side. And so we see if these two have been arguing. So there's the male and female right inside of you that's, having a divorce most of the time. Or one's overpowering the other. And so we see it right down to how you're using your limbs. Is your ankles the same? Are your feet in one direction? So there's so much you can do within your physical body that will change how you feel. I can't say, oh wow, I'm so uplifted today. Wow, you know what? I am so depressed. That's all it takes. Simple. It didn't cost you a cent to sit up. It doesn't cost you a cent to give yourself a wheel alignment. Just put your feet in the same direction. Most people are standing with their feet out in 2 directions. How stable is that? It's no different if you got your feet in 2 different directions if they're turned inward to the muscle system, which is shortening, which is lengthening. One you're giving out all your energy, one you're drawing it all in. We're all reading each other. Might as well learn. Look at your hands. Does anyone notice that one hand might be different from the other? Why are some fingers moving in this way? It's all emotions, everything. And if things aren't flowing, there's disharmony. And with disharmony becomes dis-ease. So more harmony you bring within yourself. And where there is a vibration of harmony, there's a vibration of love. And every single cell in your body wants a vibration of love. And love is just harmony. Love isn't out there. Does anyone love someone here? Love someone? You love someone? I don't believe you. Impossible. It's impossible to love another person. What is love? What's love? Anyone? Caring? Anyone else? Vibrations, yes?
Caring for someone more than yourself?
Caring for someone, yeah. Impossible. Love is a feeling. Can you feel someone else? Impossible, you're not in your body. Feelings are chemicals. Impossible. You can love your reaction to them, but you can't love them. Now I can have a beautiful rose right here and I can say, wow, I love this rose. Does the rose love me? Absolutely not. The rose is love. I can say I love a beautiful newborn baby. Does the baby love me? No. It is love. It's a channel of love. Love is just harmony. Love is the life force and the light of the universe mixed up inside a vehicle or vessel or conduit or whatever you want to call it, a container, and that vibration is love. Simple as that. When at the point of balance, right here. So if you want to understand how your outer world is working, all you have to do is look, your outer and inner world are working.